right from Seattle, and I came down to go on tour and do some tricks before Alloy's set each night. And the reason behind me doing this isn't so much entertainment at first, but rather that there's a message behind this whole bunch of shows and this whole tour and all, and that's Western Show. Okay, so the point of me being up here is that all I had to bring down to honor the bands that are playing and honor Western Shoshone Defense Project is my juggling. That's pretty much what I do in Seattle for a living, is street perform and juggle and that sort of thing. And the point behind me doing it is that if everybody here found that one thing that they did well, whether that's a skill, whether that's the use of your voice, whether that's the use of your signature, whether that's the use of your time, and donated that to the Western Shoshone Defense Project, that those people would be a lot better off. So that's just something to keep in mind, and I brought down some tricks to show you what I do and what I think to them.
All right, great!
Now this is true that most people, especially in Seattle, there's lots of jugglers, too much competition. Most jugglers in Seattle juggle 5 balls this way. This is the way most jugglers in Seattle juggle 5 balls. But I wanted to learn something impressive, and I learned something totally different, totally new way to juggle 5 balls, and the guys in Rancid are still recovering from this one, because I did it the other night in Sacramento, so this is for them. This is the way I juggle 5 balls. Just the juggling thing, I know, like, it's old quick, and that's why I brought fire with me. I actually got permission to burn the entire place down, so I figured I might as well go for it and juggle 3 torches. My acting's cool. The tongue transfer. They're all calling out for the tongue transfer, and that's coming up in a minute. First, one lit torch. Satan. 2 lit torches. Can somebody make that fan go the hell away from me? Thanks. 3 lit torches. And I always grant at least 1 request for a show, so that's why I brought with me these 2 small torches right here. Naked! Do it naked! Sorry, only 1 request per show. Okay, this is Flames, and this coming up right now is the world famous, much beloved, completely stupid and dangerous tongue transfer.
Turn out the lights for it.
This right here is the Flames, and Alloy's gonna come up.
Now, can we ask you out there to make sure nothing stupid happens? happen. Whatever you want to do, if you want to run around in the circle, run around in the circle. If you want to hurt people, we're going to ask you to leave. And we're going to assume you'll cooperate with that. And can I just ask, is there going to be a discrepancy before the band starts right away? Because the band doesn't have to play. We can all just sit and look real stupid. I mean, it's up to you. The band won't play if anything stupid happens. It's really up to you. And the band's going to be paid anyway. We got the money anyway. So it's up to you. So if you guys want to see a band working, I mean, this is really risky for some people to be doing this. So why don't you pay up with their respect? If you want to fight, there's plenty of space out there. The band is not going to play the soundtrack. So watch out for each other and protect yourself.
I'm doing it for them.
Each other up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not we should all get together and move and jump around and have a good time. It's important to respect each other. We were up in Sacramento a couple nights ago, and my brother Rob was speaking from his heart up there. And he brought up a good point. Inside out and get together for purposes of entertainment. We are concerned about what's happening. Mine is when has been trying to intimidate and take away the subsistence, which is their cattle and their horses. These people depend on these things to live every day. They're struggling every day to live for their survival. And I just would like to bring that to your attention because I think that we all got together, we all paid some money, and that's good. And the money will last for a short time. But what will last longer is the awareness about indigenous culture and their struggles in America, because for over 500 years, they have struggled simply to exist. And the struggle with us this evening. Let's get together and have some fun. Let's try out. Yo, we're a little short on space up here, so if you help us out. If you come up and jump off, that's one thing. But just get up to it and split. Been very close to me for about 3 years. My name's Jennifer Chu, and the song's called Sacrifice. I think both of us have the same feelings about this. You got to really understand and love yourself before you can give, before you can really care about someone else. Otherwise, you consume them and twist them and hurt them. Northridge Show. Please check out the information.